Hello, everyone, and welcome to Family Friday. We'll be sharing ideas and tips on how to make your quarantine experience just a little more fun for the family. My name is Paul. I'm student ministry pastor here at the church, and our guest for today is Michael Abadir. Michael is the father of four and a high school chemistry teacher and a dedicated Royal Rangers leader of more than 4 years now. How are you doing today, Michael?
I'm doing great, Pastor Paul. Thank you. How about yourself?
I'm doing great as well. It's great to see you and to have you on today. So, Michael, our goal for each of these episodes or each of these conversations that we're having is to equip parents who are watching with some quarantine hacks of food, fun, and homeschooling. All areas that I think you have some great ideas in. Where would you like to start, actually?
Well, Paul, let's start with the food hack today.
Nice. I'm excited about this one.
Well, something we tried that actually worked very well was to have a fancy dinner it was a Saturday evening, and it was just a lot of fun. And I know that you guys are probably used to having your kids wanting to be in their pajamas all day. And my wife and I were like, you know what? We're going to change this up. And the kids were actually excited. So everyone got a shower on the same day. Everyone got dressed up. I mean, even the hair, everything. And we just
Nice.
got ready for a really fancy dinner that night. Two of my daughters were excited about this, and they took charge of making up name cards for everyone. They even wrote up a menu. They printed things out. Like, they really wanted to
Wow.
do this. And they decided that they were actually also going to be the hostesses and waitresses of the meal. So they did help to prepare some of the meal, although my wife and I did prepare a lot of it as well. But they took charge of serving the food, taking our plates, and even made up a fake bill as well for the whole thing, which was kind of funny.
Oh man, I can't imagine how amazing that experience was. And how potentially big that bill came out to be.
It was quite big.
So wait, did you pull out the nice tux or what?
Well, we didn't quite go with the tux, but my son actually, surprisingly, he wore a blazer, which is not usual for him. So he showed
Nice.
up in a blazer, and everyone was very impressed. All my girls decided to use their hair straightener, so everyone had straight hair that night, which was nice. I didn't have to worry about it personally, so that was good. And we took pictures too, which was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I'd love to see some of those pictures at some point, maybe. Um, so that's such a great idea. And as you're watching this, would you put something in the comment? Let us know, one, if you think that this is an idea that you can do with your kids, and if you do actually do it, we would love, love, love to hear about it. So I would love to jump into, Michael, our fun hack for today, because
Uh,
as we were talking off camera about this, I got excited about this idea, and I personally want to do it. So I can't wait for you to walk us through it. Would you share a fun hack with us today?
Sure. Well, this fun hack, what I like about this, it is so flexible and so easy and does not really take any effort at all. This originated with something that we would do with our kids when they were really young. Our children now are middle school, and our older three are middle school, and my youngest is in elementary school. And this started when they were all really little. We'd go to the park, which was like a survival skill to get them to run around outside in a fenced in park. That was awesome. I'm sure a lot of you parents can relate to this. So it all started when we were at the park. And of course, parents like to play with their kids and run around, but you get tired after a while as a parent, and the kids don't get tired. So this was my little strategy. I had my stopwatch with me, and I was like, okay, here's what you have to do. And I would give them instructions, and I'd say, okay, you have to run to that tree over there, run around it, then climb up the steps to the slide down the slide, run through the tunnel, and come and tag my hand. So you can start your stopwatch as soon as they go. They tag you, stop it, and you see what their time is. And then the goal is for them to beat their own time. So as I said, we have four kids. Of course, competition is high, and you're trying not to pit the kids against one another. So you really just want them to try to beat their own score. Now officially, parks are closed, so it's a little more challenging. But you can still do it in your yard. You could do it, maybe down the sidewalk. There's all kinds of things you can do. and you can
Yeah.
adjust it to be age appropriate. So little kids could do simpler things. If you have older kids and you want to get them into it, you could incorporate like making a basket in the basketball hoop, or shooting a soccer ball into a goal, or even like push-ups, or any kind of physical challenge that they can do.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, once you start, you come up with more ideas, and the kids love it. And don't be surprised if they challenge you to do the same thing after you've timed them.
And be prepared to lose, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I love this idea personally because it just sounds so fun, but two, it's so flexible. This is something you can potentially do inside. You could do it in your yard. Whenever the parks are open again, you can do it there. This is something, like you said, it's across all ages for the most part. And so this is something that's just applicable wherever you are. And I can imagine right now in quarantine, an idea like this is like gold. Like, man, this is amazing, you know? Um, and so this is our final category for today, that I'm pretty sure a lot of parents have questions about, because this was probably one of the biggest adjustments to all of this, the whole quarantine thing, is homeschooling. And so, you were sharing before your homeschooling hack. So would you walk us through that?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Well, I totally understand, as a parent, what every other parent's going through. And the funny thing is, I'm actually a teacher, so I'm seeing it from that side as well. And
Wow.
a big part of the difficulties that people have with the at home learning is a lack of routine, a lack of structure. I've actually spoken with my own students about this, who are high school students, juniors and sophomores, and even they are still struggling with the whole lack of routine and lack of schedule.
Wow.
And for our kids as well, for myself, that makes a big difference. So I'm going to use the word routine instead of schedule, because schedule has an implication of, at this time you have to do this chore, and at this time you have to do this chore, which kind of is how our school day is structured, because our life is run by bells when you're a teacher. But when you're on a home schedule, it's better to call it a routine. So your kids might wake up at 7 o'clock one morning, probably not, or 10 o'clock another morning. And if you're on a schedule, it's already shot. So if you do routine, it makes it a little easier. So it's like, you wake up. I like to have them, you have to make your bed, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, and maybe not change out of your pajamas, because our kids love to stay in their pajamas.
Yeah.
But, you have that morning thing, like that's what you got to do first, make your bed, etc. And now you jump into your school day, and you can break it up however works for your child's schedule. But, maybe if you take a third to a half of the schedule needs to get done first,
Yeah.
and then they get a little break, maybe a 15-minute break, to do something that they enjoy. Maybe it's Legos, maybe it's coloring, playing a musical instrument, something that they enjoy, but it's a short break. It's not like an hour break, because then you lose all your momentum. So they do that, and then hopefully get back into it, do their next portion. And then if there's a third portion, maybe do lunch and then do the third portion after. The goal is to be on a routine that they're used to it every day, because when we fall out of routine is when things really fall apart. And then what I would encourage too, and I was mentioning this to you, Pastor Paul, earlier, is to try to incorporate even a household chore, although you might not want to call it that,
Yeah.
to incorporate that into the routine as well. So for instance, in our family, we have a rotation between all our kids to empty the dishwasher. And they know, like, there's no real discussion about it, because everyone expects it. It's already there. It's not like I have to,
Built in almost.
yeah, it's not like I have to argue with, can you empty the dishwasher? Can you empty the dishwasher? Like, it's already set. Like, that's your day. You empty the dishwasher, and they're getting good at it, believe it or not, which is nice. But if you can incorporate something like that into the routine, it's obviously helpful to the family. It's good for the child to feel accomplished and productive, and and it keeps things moving in a certain direction.
Yeah, and one of the thoughts that I had as you were sharing is the idea of, particularly with this, how the short breaks can impact their school day, and how refreshed they are coming out of a break. So as opposed to saying, hey, your school day starts at 9, 10, whatever, and you're going all the way until 3, and that's just kind of the only thing you're doing for however many hours it happens to be. having those breaks in there can be so refreshing and keep them sharp, whenever they actually get back into their classroom environment, digitally, however that looks. And so I think that that's really, really powerful, you know?
Yeah, it definitely helps me. I need routine.
And so, I don't know if you have any final thoughts, Michael.
Just an encouragement to all you parents out there. We're all going through this together. We really are. And don't get discouraged. It is, I mean, we've had down days in our house. We've had some days where like, wow, this did not go very well. So just be encouraged, and God is with you, and just ask him for wisdom and patience. I certainly do that every day. And you're going to get through it. We're going to be okay.
Yeah. And I love that, Michael, because the verse that came to mind again, and this is a verse that seems to be really strong in the season, is be anxious for nothing, but in everything, just bring it all to God. Like literally, the good, the bad, the ugly, pray about all of it. Bring it all to him. And so whatever your season happened to be, whatever you're navigating at home, whatever home life looks like, if you ever feel overwhelmed or stressed or, man, like this is crazy, what am I doing? Bring it to God. Bring the funny stuff to him, as well as, the really serious, heavy stuff. He desires to help with all of it. So I want to encourage everyone who's watching right now to join our Facebook group and let us know what creative ideas you've been exploring with your family and how it went. Maybe we'll be able to share one of your ideas on next week's episode of Family Friday. And that's it for today. Thanks so much for watching Family Friday. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you found it really helpful, share it with a friend. God bless you guys. Until next time.